So I've literally been meaning to do a meal prep vlog for the longest time, and the only reason why I haven't is because I'm a lazy motherfucker, and I'm not lazy, I just wanted to do it right when I've, well, for one, got the time, because every time I've attempted to do it in the past, it's been a rush, and I didn't want to basically slow myself down trying to record it, or do a shit job of recording it if I'm, trying to meal prep at the same time. It would have been good anyway, what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so now is the time, as I've got a bit more free time I've got nothing on for the rest of the day, so I can afford to do it now. Actually, I don't just, what I do need now though is the dark chocolate. That's what I need, dark chocolate, specifically Monster Roth, 70% dark chocolate. It's for my banana bread. You want to stick around for that. Absolutely divine stuff. I've literally been eating that for the last, I want to say, when I started eating that, year and a month. So yeah, a long time essentially. Because it works for me, and it's easy to eat. And when volume becomes an issue, like when I'm nearing the end of a bolt, sometimes it gets hard to stomach all of it because there's a lot of it. I just take out things like the bicarbonate soda, just reduces that airiness and that volume of the actual banana bread. It becomes a lot easier to eat again. So there's little tips and tricks like that you can use from when you're making your food and prepping your food over time that you learn. Taking things out, like if there's a lot of, voluminous vegetables in there, maybe reduce them down a touch. Then you can actually digest the food a lot easier because you're not feeling so full. Bloating reduces, that sort of stuff. Obviously, it's always good to have vegetables and fruit in your diet, but you got to know when enough is enough and reduce it as needed, food down. But with that, obviously, flavour might dissipate. So it's a balance on that. So you don't want to go too much to the point where it's just literally beef and rice, because after a while, it'll become very boring to eat. So right now, we're going to make banana bread, and you're going to see how I do it. Very simple to make, one of the simpler meals to make, because it's a case of making it, mixing it up, and just leaving it to do its thing in the oven. Ingredients here. Obviously, you'll need a baking tray of some sort. Glass usually is better. Then you 70% dark chocolate, chia seeds, oats, almond milk, bananas here, about 700 grams I'm doing, 100 grams per day. I'm prepping for 7 days, by the way, just to put that into context. Whey, chocolate brownie batter, salt, and that's about it. Let's get going. Okay, so got the baking tray. We're gonna start combining all these ingredients. But first you'll need to mash up the bananas. Ideal if they're a bit riper than this. You want them like kind of going brown. That's the ideal amount. Otherwise it's a bit of a chore to mash up. Get something you can mash up like, it's a bit dirty, like a potato masher or something, and use that to mash up the bananas. I'll show you what I'm gonna do with that now. I'm gonna peel all these off into, we need to weigh it as well. Make sure you get your scales. So essentially, I work out the ingredients for 1 day with the banana bread, and it's time it by the amount of days I'm doing, essentially. So in my case, 7 days. So I'm gonna do 7 days worth of 100 grams per day. So that's 700. Quick maths. There's one. I'm not fairly quick at peeling bananas now. Some would call me a silverback gorilla. So quickly get these. Oh, these are soft, very soft. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a bit of a sniffle at the minute and a tickly cough. I'm surprised I've not started coughing like I'm having a fit yet, but I know it's inevitable and it will happen like that. Perfect timing. But yeah, it's seeming to die down. This morning, honestly, it was the worst I've ever had, a tickly cough. And I think it was just trying to get all the shit out from my lungs, because so much, I didn't know I could hold that much mucus in my body. It was, I've not been weighing it. Shit, that's not good, is it? Anyway, yeah, I didn't think I could hold that much mucus in my body. Coming up by the bucket load. Honestly, I thought if I just stepped on the scales again after weighing myself, I probably would have lost another ½ kilogram. It was that much. I'm not even joking. And now my abs are so sore, like from my transverse abdomen is just clenching. Oh my God. I'm trying to resist it, which isn't good, but I've been good up until now, and I've just started coughing. Shocking. We're almost there with the bananas. I'll do a small one because I don't need that much more. I think I'll probably use half of this. Get that stringy bit off of it. Don't want that. Oh, okay, that goes on there, bit by bit. Oh, 6.99. Okay, put all this in the bin. Food bin's absolutely rammed. Need to take that out. I'll do that in a bit though. Oh, God, don't want to sneeze. Don't want to sneeze. Oh my fucking God, bro. Woo. So now we've got 700 grams of the banana. Put the scales aside. Mash this shit up. This. Oh, come on. See, some of these ones are tough. Some of them are really soft, but on the whole, they're all right. Yeah, they're all good. I'm taking this jumper off. Don't mind me and my front hilts. I'm only wearing a vest because I'm doing meal prep. That's it. The only reason. And I recently shaved my shoulders as well. They were obscenely hairy, and I got so many people telling me when I wore a vest to the gym the other day that your shoulders are really hairy and it's putting me off from my workout. So I think that's a good enough sign to shave them. So I did just that. I hope I can now wear a vest again without getting some people coming up to me and telling me that my shoulders are ridiculously hairy. But we will see. Just don't look as good when you're in a bulk and you've got bare shoulders. It just, I don't know, the hair adds a bit of texture to the look. Do you know what I mean? Like rough and bulky and kind of like I'm a woodsman or some shit. I don't know what I'm going for, but I think it's just laziness, to be honest. I can't be arsed shaving them. It's a fucking chore. Hence why I've only done my shoulders. It's the bare minimum I had to do just to stop people from looking at me. So yeah, did that, and now I can wear vests a bit more freely. Okay, so that's done. There we go. Damn it, dishwasher's full. Just to put all my stuff in. So that's done. Now we can do, or we can pour that into, no, we need to get, I'll show you what we need to do in a sec. Okay, so now what we need is we need a saucepan or like a Pyrex bowl, but I need that later for chicken. So I'm gonna use this instead. That's what I normally do. I'm gonna move that out of the way. The scales underneath, like so. I'm gonna weigh out, holy shit, what is it? 455, I think it is 455. Alexa, how old? No. Alexa, how much, oh my God, brain ain't working. I know, thank you, because I'm being incoherent. Alexa, what is 7 times 65? 7 times 65, bruh. Alexa, what is 7 times 65? 75. There we go, 455. So, in this goes 455 grams. Fuck me. Whew. Tell you what, I'm gonna be able to vacuum like a champ after this week of coughs. I have so much strength in my transverse abdominis. Be able to pull a vacuum peak bulk after 4 meals. 1 extra gram. Will contribute towards the gains, it's okay. Alright, now the weight is 210. I remember that now. I remember that one. I've done this long enough. I should know the numbers by now. I shouldn't be having to try and remember. Oh, everywhere still. What have I done? I can't believe you've done this. Okay. I sound so bunged up as well. Like you can hear me all nasally. 210. Slowly, slowly. Oh, you'll see as this meal prep goes on, my enthusiasm fades, I promise you. It'll be less enthusiastic and more informational. Okay, I think I've got, oh, too much. I'll do 211. So I'm seeing how much protein powder I go through in a week. Next, we're gonna get a spoon, teaspoon to be exact. Actually, no, before that, we'll do the chia seeds. So I've got fucking whey powder all over me, what the fuck? And just to make life easier, I've got a whole carton of almond milk and I just keep this the same. So this is not a variable, it doesn't change. But obviously, if you're doing a certain amount of oats and not enough liquid, it's going to be very dry. Vice versa, if it's not much oats because you are in low calories or whatever, and you add the same amount of almond milk, it will be very wet. So you have to adjust both accordingly. And it's a bit of just experiment, really. Just try it like this and then adjust, reduce everything together and you get the same result, just less of. So this is a litre, 1 litre goes in. Submerge all of that in almond milk. Gives it a creamier taste instead of using water. If I'm using things like this normally, I don't really use milk, I just use almond milk. I use semi-skim milk, like on rest days for like a shake. That's about it. It doesn't fit very well with I don't put it in protein shakes, I use water for that. So yeah, I'm not a freak. I just find it easier to maintain a macro balance doing it that way than having to adjust the milk based off other things. I can't be arsed with that. Water has no calories, so I might as well just do that. Okay, now I'm gonna whisk this bad boy up. I'm gonna use this, not whisk, but dirty fucking spatula. Okay, so I'm gonna whisk all this up. Whisk, stir, I guess. Oh yeah, just put that in there, don't I? You actually put your banana in, unlike me. Should just slide right out, to be honest. Wish I didn't put this in there first, because now I'm gonna get little bits of like whey and shit in the container. But to be honest, these little plastic spatula things are so good for getting stuff out like this. Probably when you get your own mixture stuck in there. It's not good. Anyway, that's cleanish now, that'll do. Now the rest of the wet ingredients now will make it the right consistency. Give it a little stir. I would usually use a big whisk, but it's in the dishwasher. So, sounds familiar. Okay, so every last bit off. Every last bit. Oh, fucking waste stuck on there. Ah, get off. There we go. Okay, it's flicking everywhere now. Right, okay, so now this will just go straight into here. So we pour it right in. Okay, pour that in. Scrape out the sides. Because remember, this is a week's worth and you want to get every last bit in there. If you're leaving bits in the bottom, it adds up to a decent amount of calories and you don't want that. If you calculated the right amount of food for the week, you want to make sure you're eating that right amount of food and not leaving wastage in the bottom. Obviously, it depends whether you're in a bulk or a cut or a surplus or a deficit, but the more you scrape out of there will be dependent on how far into a deficit you are. I imagine if you're very sick of food, you're not going to be wanting to scrape out much more, but you must do it regardless. Okay, next. Normally I do crush this up, but I can't be asked doing that, so we're just going to do it how I did it a while ago, which is simply, that was satisfying as hell, is push these down into the bottom in like a row formation, essentially. I'm going to stack these up there so that I can just do it all at once instead of having to come back for more, because they sink quick. Like that. Okay, that's 7 pieces. Now I need to essentially break them in half. Let's hope this works how I intend for it to work. I hope it does anyway. Let's see. Get a knife, plonk it down. Oh, it's done one. There's one. There's 2, 3. Okay. Okay, that's kind of working. It's kind of crushing them a bit. Like, not really. Ah, okay. Right, let's just go with it. Fuck it. 1, then goes 2. 3. Just cover the whole fucking top of it. Oh. You put these in any way you like, really. It doesn't have to be like, as long as it's even spread, it's all good. It's just more about getting the same amount of chocolate for each day, the best you can. But it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, if you're a bit low on one day, a bit high on another day, not the end of the world. It just has to be an evenish spread. Like, that does not look pretty, but doesn't really matter, does it? It's all going to get eaten within a week. So I'm going to now push this down with my fingers, okay, like that, down, like that, completely submerge it. Sorry for the sniffles. Some of it's touching the side, but that's okay. Completely submerge. In it goes. Shouldn't see any bits of chocolate. Oat should be worked over the top. There we go. Perfect. This can now go in the bin. Okay. Oh, bollocks. Most important step failed already. I literally should have said that from the start. Set your oven. Oh, fuck's sake, I have to wait for this fucker to set. Or heat up. Anyway, that's done. So I'm putting it on the oven when I can. I'm gonna pretend like I said that at the start and cut that out. Let's bring all this over here. Hey Siri, remind me when I leave my home to get Courtney a snack. Success! Well, after a swift go on the banana bread, we're now onto the Bang Bang chicken. Don't ask me why it's called Bang Bang chicken. I literally just added the name to distinguish it from chicken and rice. It's essentially chicken and rice with a sriracha-based sauce, but with a bit of spice. Well, it already comes from the sriracha, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so we're onto that now. Ingredients are as follows. Chicken, of course, which you've just seen. You will need, oh, I forgot to mention the full name. Bang Bang Chicken, Pineapple and Rice. It's the full name. I don't know why I was so proud of that, but yeah, here we are. Pineapple, peppers, parsley, more pineapple, and sriracha. Those are all the things you need, bar sushi rice. Big 10-kilogram bag, I think it is. Off Amazon. It's always here when I need it. I don't have to go and get more. I just prefer doing that with buying in bulk. It may be cheaper elsewhere, but that rice is just rice, unprocessed, unflavoured, no extra salt, so I can control it better. Means that when I get down to lower body fat percentages, I can control my sodium a little bit better than if it had, you know, those store-bought 40p ones, whatever they are, from Aldi. They've got all sorts of shit in them. I'd rather have just that and do my own rice, wash it, cook it. And it's sushi rice, of course, so it means less volume when you're bulking and in a surplus, in your growth phase, whatever you want to call it. So you can get more of it down easier without running into digestive bloating and GI tract issues. Not that it should cause that, but if it's, you know, you're eating a lot of basmati rice or brown rice, it can take a lot longer to digest that, especially the wholemeal version, sorry, brown rice versus, say, a faster digesting one like basmati or sushi. So that's why I choose that. So first thing to do is chop up the chicken. Let's go and do that. Well, I lied. The first thing is not to chop up the chicken. Well, is it? No, it is. The first thing is to chop up the chicken. So we're gonna do that. Cough number 6. Let's get a knife. Move all this crap out of the way for now. I don't need the scales just because I bought the exact amount of chicken I need, which is only Jesus, which is a kilogram. Not a lot of chicken for the week, I know, but a lot of my other protein sources come from whey powder, beef, Greek yogurt, a lot of it, like you just see there. So the sauce got protein in it. And other things, you know, that contain protein. And despite what many people think, you don't need absurd amounts of protein. You know, I'm just scraping by 200 grams of protein a day, and I'm 98 kilograms. Like, that's not a lot for, well, it is a lot, but it's not a lot for what most people think you need. You know, you see people eating upwards of 400 grams of protein, which is just not needed. You don't need that much protein. Nobody needs that much protein. It's just absurd. So I don't bother having a lot of protein because it, one, will slow down digestion, makes it harder to actually digest food quicker, leading to more bloating between meals. And then again, if the digestion is slowed, things can't get digested, things can't get out of the way. It's just gonna slow things down, especially in a bulk. You don't need that much. Just need enough for your body weight to grow and recover. That's it. Right, so let's chop this chicken up. So get a board, of course. So like I said before, obviously, the one thing that I do, well, not prioritize, I prioritize all macronutrients, of course, but you have set sort of amounts, essentially, for fat and protein. So like your protein and your fat. And I've just set an amount that's going to keep you, like for example, fat. You know, it can go very low, especially on a prep. You can go very low to something like 50 grams or even lower, like for a period of time. Too long at that amount and you, well, it's going to suffer anyway being in a deficit and an energy deficit. But too low fat to fit more carbs, for example, in your diet, that's going to affect you hormonally. It's going to make your test very low if you're staying at that amount of fat for a long period of time. You know, chronically that can affect you quite bad. So I always like to keep fats on the safer side. Like for a male of my size, the lowest I'd go now for more than a month would be maybe 55 or 50. As a rough estimate. I may even go a bit lower, to be honest, but it just depends where my food's at and how much expenditure I'm doing, because I don't want my testosterone to suffer. But it will when you're cutting, of course. It's inevitable. It's going to go lower. You're not in an energy surplus, so you're going to be losing, or your T's going to be dropping, essentially. So it's going to happen, but you like to not do too much damage. In a surplus, however, when trying to gain muscle, you just want enough, again, to keep your hormones stable. Same with the protein. You want enough to allow you to recover based off your body weight, and it's much less than people think. And then you use carbs as a sliding scale. So if your TDEE is, say, 2,700, just, you know, put protein in there for the amount you need, put fat in there for the amount you need, and then have as much carbs you need to maybe go, say, 300 calories into a surplus. Just as, again, as a rough guide, it's very person dependent. That's for a potential, I don't know, case study, let's say that. That's what you would do. Just, you only need 300 calories extra to gain muscle. You don't need absurd amounts of food to gain muscle. All more food is going to do past a certain point is just get you more fat. You're not going to gain any new more lean tissue. It's just going to be stored as body fat. You're going to get fat sooner. You're going to end up coming out your bulk sooner, which means less growth. And then you're going to have to spend longer time getting rid of that fat and then potentially, you know, losing all that muscle because you've gained fat excessively quick. And then you think, shit, got to get this off. So you don't do a proper diet, you do a crash diet, you lose all the muscle you built because you're in such an extreme deficit that your body has to tap into some muscle for energy. So that's the loop that I often see people do. They go both ends of the extreme dieting and then crash diet, and then they just go on a bulk again, or turbo bulk, something extreme like 1,000 calorie surplus, just not needed. You know, energy, you know, increases or carb increases for, you know, gaining muscle in a growth phase should be really based on a couple of factors, really. Is one, training performance, if that suffers, or trying to avoid a cough, or if your weight has not budged and is actually decreasing as over the course of the week or multiple weeks. I wouldn't probably up food straight away if it had decreased by, say, if your weight had gone down by 0.25 on average over the course of a week. I'd probably hold off until maybe like halfway through the next week until increasing food, just because it may be something like a change in diet in terms of maybe a lack of, maybe you took out a meal that had a bit of excessive salt in it, or you stopped using electrolyte, so you hold on to less water, or you forgot to take creatine or something like that, and then, you know, water's being flushed out the system. So you think you're in a deficit now because you've dropped weight, but really you're not. And now you're increasing food again, and then you're going to get fatter much quicker. So you need to basically make sure your life and your routine is consistent. If you're changing things every week and you're trying to take a reading of weight from that or multiple readings across the week to form an average, but you're not keeping the variables the same across the week, how the hell do you expect to measure change or make the right decisions based off that? Because like in all science experiments as a kid in science class, you have variables, okay? And you've got to keep a lot of them the same and just change one, okay? You've got to minimize the variables, because if you do that, how can you know what's actually causing the weight increase or decrease? You don't. So that's why you've got to keep things consistent. That's why consistency is so important. Keep on taking that electrolyte supplement throughout the week. Keep on eating the same amount of food each week. Keep on doing the same amount of cardio, you know? Keep on drinking the same amount of water. Keep on taking your creatine and stuff like that. And then you'll be able to identify what actually is the issue. What is causing the weight fluctuation? What is causing the weight to go the way you don't want it to go? So that's one thing I think people, they just get lost and confused. You know, they don't know what's actually causing the issue. So they just think, fuck it, I'll either ramp up food or cut it all out. And then they end up fucking it. Minimize the variables and you'll see a lot more progress that way, I assure you. I'm almost done chopping up this, well, no, not nowhere near actually. I've been ranting too much. I've only come close to chopping one of my fingers off once, and it's actually on that nail there. It's still a bit white. I took a chunk out of it. I was wondering why the other day. I was like, why have I got this white mark on my finger? I was like, oh yeah, because I almost chopped it off, but my nail saved me. So thank God for that. But I've got better chop up chicken. Sometimes I'm a bit lazy and I'll go to Aldi and I'll get the mini fillets, sort of, what's it called? Packets of chicken or diced chicken breast already done for you. Way easier, cuts out so much time. I have got to put in the banana bread though, as I did forget to do that earlier, so I'm going to put that in now. So, alrighty, not touching with a chicken hand of course. Get my crocodile oven mitt on that I got from Australia. Ooh, that's going to go in on the top shelf. Hey Siri, set a 1 hour timer for banana bread. Done. Simple as that. 2 more breasts to go. I don't know about you, but everyone seems to cut their fat off, their chicken breast. It's already a lean meat. I don't know if people do that. I mean, I'll cut stringy bits off like that, but I'm not like fucking fiddling around with it and trying to get all the little white bits off. Get it in there. You don't notice. Like, gives a bit of flavor, you know, a bit of fat. And it's the macros on the back of the chicken, and what you log it on, whatever you log it on, MyFitnessPal, wherever it is, it's going to include a bit of that, or what's the word? Accommodate for a bit of that. So you take it off, it's probably not shooting yourself in the foot, but I feel like it all matters, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It all matters, it all counts. So I just put it in there, a bit of flavour, minimal. I'd rather a chicken thigh, but they're just too fatty. You know, 5% beef is as fatty as a meat I'll go. And it's not to say fat is the enemy, it's just that when I want a protein source, I want a protein source, not a fat and protein source. I want to be able to control that macro a bit easier. So when it comes to, if I want to, you know, if I'm trying to get absolutely dick skin peeled, having 20% beef mince is not ideal as having it as a main protein source, or ribeye steak, because if I want to reduce fat, I'll have to reduce protein. I can't like, well, I could chop off all the bits of fat, but how do I measure that on a day-to-day basis? I don't. So things like that can slip through the cracks a bit. Whereas if I just have lean chicken or even turkey, oh shit, how's that go? Oh, here's what it is. Don't tell anyone. But if I have lean chicken or lean turkey, like I said, I can control a lot easier. If I just want to reduce fat, I just reduce peanut butter, for example, or avocado, or whatever you have as a fat source, chocolate, for example, 85% dark chocolate. I can just reduce a bit of that. Then my fat has gone down and nothing else. It means that, again, I can control variables a lot easier. One more breast. Ugh, stringy. So it's right down the middle. Butterfly the breast. Cut little pieces up. I'm sure there's a chicken chopping championship somewhere I could enter. Who knows? I've noticed every time I say something, I always go, do like a little breath inwards, because I listen back to footage sometimes, and I always hear that like after each sentence. I'm trying not to do that as much, because I'm sure it's probably very annoying, as much as my cough is annoying. All right, then let's chuck these bits of chicken in the already full food bin. I need to wash that board actually, because I'll need that again in a second. Okay. Now, while that chicken, well, let's say actually I need to marinate the chicken. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this chicken over here, and you can see me. So I'm gonna bring that over here. I'm gonna get my phone out. Sorry. And let's see what spices we need for this. I should know this off by heart now. I've been doing it long enough. But we need salt. I'm using pink Himalayan because it's all I've got. Normally I use table salt with a bit of iodine in it, which is alright for you. Black pepper, or I'm running low. Shit. Damn it, I should have got more. Garlic powder, again running low on that. Onion powder, paprika, smoked. Hell, I need a toilet, hence why I'm moving my feet around like a little kid. Ginger, got that. paprika, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, paprika, ginger. Yes, got it all, cool. Everything's 0.5 apart from salt is 0.3 teaspoons. So times all by 7 and then you have your answer. 3.5 for the majority and 2.1 for the salt. The salt first, so don't do 3.5 for that. So 2.1 here. Again, keeping salt consistent across your meals, the week, allows you to gauge your weight gain or weight loss more accurately, especially when you're cutting down as well. Because if you're, again, varying your meals day to day, Tesco meal deal here, you know, roast on a Sunday, all these things you see in the shops, they have a lot higher sodium than food you cook at home. One, because it's for flavor. You know, these foods that you find in shops, they're engineered, not made. They're engineered for you to like them and keep on buying them. So they're gonna have a lot higher salt and sugar and stuff like that, especially the salt, that's the main culprit. It draws water into the body, all right? So if you're doing that and it's going up and down, levels aren't stable, sessions don't get the right amount of electrolytes, so you're maybe underhydrated or even overhydrated, you know, and then you have a pre-workout on top of that. You know, those things can have about 500 milligrams of salt in them, some of them. So again, it can vary. You don't know what you get. Whereas me doing this the same every week, I see a lot more stable trends on the graph across the months and weeks or on the scales, even day by day, than most people because I'm keeping my electrolyte balance in check. People really underestimate electrolyte balance in general, in my opinion. It's literally the key to staying hydrated and staying alive for that matter. And yet people neglect it and focus so much on protein and high protein this, high protein that, and I need to get my protein shake in. Yes, protein's important, don't get me wrong, it allows you to build muscle and recover, but most people are fine. They don't need to overblow it. I know I keep on banging on about this, but it's so true. People focus more on getting enough carbohydrates in for their session before and after, you know, and tapering the carbs down around their meals the further they go out, and electrolytes during the session and stuff like that, and sleep. They would do a lot better than just thinking, oh, as long as I'm hitting my protein, I'm all right. Because it's not the case. There's more to bodybuilding than just protein. And the sooner people realize that, the sooner they will make more progress and push past that plateau. Why is this not coming out? Push that past that plateau, or that barrier that's been holding them back for the longest time. Obviously, then the next issue is knowing how much to do of everything. How much salt do I have? How much potassium do I have? That's where someone like me comes in. I do that for my clients and make it a hell of a lot easier for them. You know, some of them who are more lifestyle clients, I don't really bother like tell them make sure you have this amount of sodium, potassium, X, Y, Z. I just structure their meal plan so they get enough of each. So I say salt all your meals, eat potassium-rich foods, you know, stuff like that. I'm gonna run out of black pepper here. Shit, be careful. Oh, yeah, I'm so gonna run out of black pepper. Bollocks, that's not good. I'm gonna have to salt grind. So much pepper for the next, really annoying. Oh well. I'm gonna sneeze from that. Oh my God. Pepper's lethal. Onion, 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, that's all done. Pepper's toast. Fuck. I need to have pepper. I don't have any more pepper there. Just have to absolutely tan the pepper with that pepper grinder. Ah, oh well. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to get olive oil into the bowl of chicken and spices to let it, because it's right now it's just dry spices and slightly damp chicken. So I need to put 21 grams, that's it, 21 grams, that's not per day, that's for the whole week. All you need. Things like this, olive oil. People would put 20 grams on their meal if they were cooking in the pan. That's where the calories go. That's what brings you out of a deficit. So 21 grams, going in there, we're very precise with this, because obviously per gram of fat, which olive oil is mostly, well, all of it, per gram of fat, there is, ooh, is that too much? No, 9 calories. So you gotta be careful. And again, I'm not demonizing fats, I'm just saying they come with a cost. Too much fat means too much calories. It means you not in a deficit anymore, not losing weight. Oh shit, okay, that's enough. 21, bang on. Become so good at that now. And now, I would normally do this with my hands, but can't be arsed. I get all my nails, all the spices, so I'm gonna use a wooden spoon. I'm just gonna mix this around in a controlled fashion. Like that, so they're all covered. Essentially, when this is cut now, it turns into almost like a crispy batter because the spices are covering the chicken. So every bite is succulent and flavorful, like so. Oh yeah, there we go. Once it starts to turn dark and covered and you can't see much chicken anymore, then you know you've done a good job mixing it in, like that. Okay. Okay, right, and then we're gonna get a baking tray metal thing. Seems to work quite well for me. Again, you can use a Pyrex one, whatever you want to use. Chuck that in there. Oh, I should use a spoon to spread it out. Okay, spoon, and just like spread it out in there like that, evenly. And then we're just gonna put this in the oven. Oh, the shelf was a bit low. Oh well, okay. Oh, perfect, just slides right under. It goes right in there with the banana bread, and I'll flip that banana bread around so it gets really cooked in a second. Hey Siri, set her... Jesus Christ. Hey Siri, set a half-an-hour timer for chicken. Gosh, next step is to do the rice because my rice cooker's dog wank, so it takes fucking forever to do its thing. So half an hour should be plenty of time for the rice to cook and get nice and fluffy. Not that I wanted to, but you know how sushi rice goes. So it's 125 grams per day of dry weight rice. This is dry weight, so I measure out in dry weight, of course, and I kind of just even it up between all the Tupperwares evenly, or divvy it up evenly. And then I know I've got roughly the same amount each day. Sometimes I will get the scales and like measure out if I want a bit more precision, but I don't know, I just see what I fancy doing. But yeah, 125 times 7 is 875. So 875 of dry weight rice. Ah, too much, fuck's sake. Such a ball ache putting this shit back in. Okay, oh, it's bang on. Okay. 875. Okay, rice goes back in there. Then we're gonna wash the rice. Always wash your rice. Gets all the shit off of it. Ugh. I need a colander. I would use a sieve, but again, mine's crap and it lets half the rice go through it. This is the next best thing. It's not ideal, but it works. So I'm gonna get the cold water going, and I'm gonna, oh, there's still bits of dried rice from the other day. Didn't do a very good job there of cleaning that, did I? So, just fully submerge the rice, swirl it round. I might bring you guys closer so you can see this. But now you're going to fully submerge the rice in water to wash it, like this, a bit more. Okay, and then we're just going to get our hand and use a spoon. I think it's just better your hand. It kind of feels nice as well. So when you put your hand in a wet bucket of sand, you know, quite satisfying. And then the water's just going to turn all cloudy, okay, which is good. It means all the starches are getting washed off, all the dirt and shit. Basically means it sticks a bit better. It's like clumps of rice instead of grains of rice. Again, makes it a lot easier to eat and it's more satisfying. Once I've done that for about 30 seconds, I'm going to put this on, I'm going to drain it. The water coming out should be like a clear, no, not clear, like cloudy white. Yeah, just cloudy white, should be cloudy white coming out. That's how you know you're doing a good job. And then I'll do it again because we're not done. Oi, I'm gonna splash myself. Again, wash it around. See a bit more I'm doing. Like so. Just move it around in the water. Pop the sieve on again. Okay. Okay, so this is my third time washing the rice and it's more or less clear. Just rinse that out. Yeah, it's pretty much clear. We'll do that. I would sometimes do a fourth time, but I think I've done a good enough job there, so that'll do. Got the bits of rice off there, perfect. Then we're gonna take this over here and put it on. Okay, so rice is in here now. I'm gonna put the rice on. We're gonna get a Pyrex jug like this one. Okay, and we're gonna just fill this up 1 and just shy of a half times. Okay, 1 and just shy of a half times, just because it's, oh my god, if I remember the calculation. What is it? Alexa, what is 875 divided by 1,400? No, that's wrong. Alexa, what is 1,400 divided by 875?
1,400 divided by 875 is 16.
Oh, maybe I've overshot it a little, but whatever the calculation is, it's like basically, I think it's like 1.25 or 1.3 times the water of which rice you have. So I think maybe I'm overshooting it. But again, in the name of consistency, I'm going to be keeping it the same because otherwise it'll throw stuff off. And it's working so far, it's not like it's an issue. So that's 2 there, that's 1 litre in. I might do up just to 400, which I normally do. So 400 there. Go, oh, spilling everywhere. There you go, 400 done. Okay, so I'll need this again, so I'll just leave this there. Gonna pop the lid on. Then that goes on and on. That's gonna start going now. Now we're gonna chop up the veg, make the sauce, and then, all right, so we'll do the pineapple now. We just need 700 grams of pineapple to weigh out into Tupperware. Yeah, so I get these ones right there. There's 3 here. I'll weigh them out into there. I'm shy of 2. 1 there, and then there's 1 in the fridge. Oh, is there? No, there's not. I don't know where the other one's gone. Oh, there's 1 there. There we go. I'll just use 1 of these. So I'll weigh out my pineapple separately because I was doing it in the meal previously, but warm pineapple isn't the best in with rice and chicken. On a pizza, don't get me wrong, I love it, but not the best on chicken and rice when it's warm and it's kind of hot as well. So pineapple gets chopped up. Need this. Weigh that. See what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna chop around like this. Get all the outside out or off. This one's a juicy one. Okay. It's a bit brown in the bottom there. That's not good. Go in the food bin. It's full. Okay, go in there. It's separate bin bag. Then you're gonna core it. So all the inside bit is off or out. It should be just like a little hard square cubic thing. 0 the scales. I'm gonna do pineapple like so. A little bit more. Perfect. There's 1 done. Oh, close. Okay, 1. That's enough. Bang on 100, lovely. It's probably not the quickest way to do it, but feels quick. Ah, too much. There we go. 1 more, done. So the reason why I got pineapple in with my chicken and rice is because it's got something called bromelain in it, which is a digestive enzyme in pineapple that helps break down protein. And as we know, what you can't digest, you can't use. So it's important that things are broken down properly so you can actually use them for muscle growth. Because if it ain't getting digested, it ain't getting into the bloodstream and it ain't getting utilized very well. So that's why that's in there. Obviously, I like something a bit sweet as well. It's good to have fruit for the vitamins and minerals, of course. It's not just there for that reason, but it's one of the big reasons for sure. But it helps break down the protein, digest the food, not cause bloating, digest perfectly. It's a big thing that I've prioritized in recent years is digestion. It's key to building the physique you want. I think sleep, digestion, the things often go swept under the rug and forgotten about. They need to be prioritized just as much as how much weight you lift in the gym and how much protein you consume on a daily basis, because ultimately they probably have more impact on how you look than either those 2 things really. Or, well, you know, protein is essential, of course. If you eat no protein, you're not going to gain much muscle, but if you eat too much versus a normal amount, it's not going to be much difference. God, I'm really out to get protein, aren't I? I don't like it. I don't like protein. Joking. Of course I like protein. My mouth is really dry. I better have a sip of water. Ugh. Or like a gulp. Okay, that's that done. Let's get the rest of this pineapple chopped up. Gosh, that'll do for that one. So yeah, just trying to save time here. Prepping stuff while other stuff is waiting to be prepped. Hence why the chicken, for example. God, Jesus. Hence why obviously the chicken's in the oven, the rice is in the rice cooker. Not much I can do about that, so I do this. So what about time management? You know, people say they don't have time to meal prep. They do have time to watch Netflix, to watch the football, to go to the pub on a Friday night. And yes, it must be hard. It must be hard. Giving up going to the pub to meal prep for the sake of your own body. Oh, dearie me. But it's the reality, you know, what do you want? Do you want a pint more than you want abs? Because if you do too much of that, that's clearly what you're prioritizing. You're prioritizing the pint or watching the football over your physique? Is it that much to give up? Are you really missing out that much? Could you meal prep at a time when maybe you're not doing those things? You know, maybe meal prep first thing in the morning or something. Then you can still watch the football. Move things around, make time for it. Anyone who says they don't have time is lying. I've had clients who are genuinely running their own business, running a family, and still find time to meal prep because they know that's what it takes. And if it means giving them a bit of free time, then so be it. Okay? Like, I've gotten to the point now where any bit of free time I use is for making my life easier down the line. I hate trying to play catch up and, you know, run around like a headless chicken trying to get things sorted. So I try and do things like this, like meal prep for the week. It makes my life 10 times easier for the rest of the week. It's just so much easier. It makes total sense. There's actually no negative to doing it. No negative, other than maybe the amount of washing up you have to do, but that's a small price to pay for what you get out of it. Bit of pineapple left there. I'm gonna have some of that and put it in the bin, of course. What a waste, I know, but it's not part of the plan. So this is satire, by the way. I'll have a little piece, of course. But honestly, there's no desire for it. I eat based on when my next meal is, not when I want another meal. It's not a case of hunger. At this point, I feel fat as fuck and I don't want to eat another meal. So if there's a reason not to, aka out of my eating window, what am I talking about? If I don't have to eat another meal yet because I've just eaten one, then I'm not gonna do it. I'm not hungry for anything at the minute. There's no cravings. I'm sure that will all change come this time. Well, not this time, but near the end of the year. I'm gonna be so hungry and I know it already. So that's all the pineapple prepped. I'm gonna take these two, I'm gonna put them in the fridge and I'll put these in the freezer because I won't need these until the rest of the week. So they can go in there for now. Sick. Ooh. Oh, I fucking need the toilet so bad. Quickly put this in there, nips there. Is there? Yep. Cool. Sec. Oh. Oh. Quickly wash the hands. Back to it. Okay, now time to chop up some veg, some parsley. Where's it? There it is. And mix the sauce. Okay, so put that scales in there. We'll go here. Do some peppers. Chop these bad boys up. Cool. Oh, these look a bit naff, these. Or mouldy or some shit. Ugh, the seeds out. Like I'm breathing dead heavy. Troubles of being almost 100 kilograms. Okay. Put that in there. Okay, now we'll just dice these up. Nice and fine. Looks like the rice is getting going now, finally. Chicken's done. Let's get out with the crock mitts, or mitts. So chicken comes out. Can go on there. I'm gonna flip the banana bread round as well. That's why we've got like 15 minutes left on it. 13. Right, that's the peppers done. Rice is almost done. Parsley getting chopped. Such a bitch to chop anyway. Just roughly, it doesn't need to be perfect. Gonna make sure I get all this parsley off because it stains the surface. Getting everywhere. Bollocks. Hoover up afterwards. Oh, pardon me. Rice is fully done. Not quite yet. It's almost done. Just gonna make the sauce now. Chicken's done. Veg is chopped, but it's part of the sauce, so it's weird how I do it. So we're gonna go with the whole pot of faye, not phage, faye. So many people say it wrong. Faye goes in here. Well, there's a little, I normally buy the Aldi ones, they don't have this film thing on the top. Also, it's so shit. They do it 450 grams. I need 500. Why are you giving me 450? What's that all about? Why? Just make it 500. What is it? Like, it's a literal, add a little bit more on the top and it's 500. It's making you buy more. Scam. Aldi one's 500. Why can they not do it? It's literally the exact same pots. More for cheaper anyway. Odd. I'm gonna make sure you get every last bit of it out. Get my money's worth. What's that done? Damn it, spilled yogurt on the floor. Paper towel. Then we're gonna go with 105 grams of good old sriracha sauce. Zero the scales, and it goes. Oh God, come on. Oh, perfect. Now, we're gonna do some rice vinegar. This stuff by Tuka, Japanese rice vinegar, which goes nice with the sushi rice and it adds a bit more liquid to this sauce, which can be quite thick without it. Oh, what am I doing? 70. Okay, that's all that's in that one. Crack open another. Cool, that's done. Rice vinegar goes back there. Piece of water. This goes in the bin. I'm going to give this a good old stir, like so, without all of it coming out the bowl, as best I can. Notice this fire is quite thicker than the Aldi. Not quite thicker, a little bit thicker than the Aldi one. I don't know why I've used this. I need to use it for something else. I need to use a spoon. I'm going to serve with the spoon anyway, so I might as well use it. There we go, that's it. I like it. That's all done. Chicken's done, rice is done, pineapple's done. Now it's time to just dish it all up and put it in the Tupperwares. Let's go. Right, so I'm going to do the rice first. Then I'll do the chicken. Pour the chicken juices into the sauce to make it a bit more liquidy. Give it a bit more flavour as well from the spices of the chicken and the oil, of course. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. And then my necklace is annoying me. 4, that's 3, 7. Lids. Okay, let's do this. So my sushi rice. There you are. So I think it's roughly 350 grams of wet weight I do for the rice. Let's see what I'm doing. Okay, so 350 grams of wet or cooked rice. It does not translate the same to dry weight. See, it almost triples in, well, it does triple 3 times of 125 is 365, sorry, 375, so it's more or less the same. I think sometimes I'm left over with like a little bit, so that kind of makes sense. But I'm gonna do 350 just to make sure I have enough for every single Tupperware. Again, sometimes I'll just eyeball this, but it is more precise this way, and I would like to have the same amount of energy every day, or even biased on certain days like leg day, to give me that extra energy I need for sessions. Things like days where I'm not doing much, like a chest and arms day, I won't need as much because chest only takes up half the torso, or a quarter of the torso if you want to say that. The back takes up half the torso, so it needs a lot more energy. Banana bread is done. Banana bread coming out with the crocs. Wow, let's go. Oh yes, hold that motherfucker off. And now this is what banana bread looks like. I'm gonna leave this over here to cool down. Out of the way, let the oven cool down too, and get back to 7 up this. So, a little bit off there, 350, roughly. Let's get these served up nice and quick. I don't know how some of these Tupperwares weigh like different weights. They're literally from the same place. Okay, there you go, 350 again. Oh, this rice is really good. Nice and sticky. Bang on 350 there, lovely stuff. Dropping rice everywhere. Okay, there's that. This scale's a bit closer because I'm like dropping it on the way to the Tupperware. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little more. Come on, there we go. There's one more. Perfect. Too good at this, mate. It's about 3 3/4 of a scoop. Fucking hell, it's hot. Ow. Need my crock. Fucking boiling. Alright. Also, I wouldn't do that if I was on prep. Wouldn't need bits of rice like that, but I can afford to do it when I'm eating an absurd amount of food. If anyone can try and guess how much food I'm actually eating, I'll be intrigued to know how much you think I'm on. Leave it in the comments section, of course. Let us know what you think. I think we'll have enough here for this last one. Shit. Oh no, I will. Didn't see the half of it around there. I don't know actually. It's cutting it close. Ooh, yeah, it is cutting it close. Shit. Okay, so I'm a bit shy, quite shy. I'm about halfway there. So, what I'll have to do is I'll have to find the difference and divide it up between these 6. Alexa, what's 350 take away 173.
350 minus 173 is 177.
Should have known that. That's silly of me. What is Alexa? What is 173 divided by 6?
173 divided by 6 is approximately 28.8333.
28. I need 28 grams. I can come off this. Oh, yeah, I'll do 28. Zero that. I'll do. Zero that. And again. Come on. 8. That's 30. Oh well. Get a little bit less like this last one. Cool. Right, so that's all the rice done. Cool. So I'll wash that in a second. What we can do now is do the chicken. I will just eyeball the chicken because it's not as important as the carbs to me in terms of readily available energy. So as long as I get an even spread across the week of somewhat enough protein, that's why I do a shoot over a little bit. Like I don't need as much protein as I'm on, but I do a little bit just for things like this. So every day I at least have enough, but it's more or less, it's not a mega high. It's nowhere near 300 like some. So pop that in there, go a grab with the tongs once, and then I'll come back and do another pass. Probably too much in that one. Oh, what was that? And then we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just kind of give the ones that need a bit more love to them. Some more chicken, skinny looking bowls. Skinny looking meal prep containers, the ones with the least amount in. Then I'll pour this juice. Just fucking flicked everywhere. Put these in here. Pour the juices into the sauce. Like that. So that flow in there. You know, meal prepping doesn't have to be boring. Things like this takes absolutely amazing. You know, simple stuff but very effective. Simple but effective. If you know the fuck me. If you know the meme, you know what I'm talking about. Very simple, very effective. You know that meme. You're all goated. I feel like my voice is going, or I'm just getting a really dry mouth. Can't tell. But either way, we're gonna pop this sauce on now, like this. Ooh, don't come. Okay, so again, making like probably 2 passes of the sauce. 1 big ladle. If I've got any left over, which I probably will, I'll go over again. Just really like a half ladle. Yeah, for sure. If that, I've got fuck all left. Obviously, there's protein in this sauce with the Greek yogurt and sriracha, but it's fuck all calories, which means that I can have, again, this on prep. Like, all I have to do is just reduce my rice. That's the only thing I have to do. I don't have to recalculate every bit of the meal. If the sauce had sugar in it and all this other stuff and lots of, like, things added to it, like lots of oil, other than from the chicken, then that'll be an issue because then I would have to change the taste of the meal to basically reduce the amount of calories in it. This is why it's so flexible. It can be easily adjusted because most of the variables are controlled, but obviously the only sliding thing I would probably change at this meal is the amount of rice, depending on where I'm up to in a cut prep. That's the only thing. Okay, that goes in there, all done. Okay, so the first 3 will go in the fridge. Take that back. First 2 will go in the fridge. Then the last 5 will go in the freezer. So just put on the last pot of rice for the beef and rice, which is coming up next. Chop an onion, put beef in the pan, and then add the sauce. Rice in the Tupperware, beef in after it. That's it. Bosh. Let's go. Okay, so pan out. Gonna get the beef in the pan, sear it. Okay, pan on, beef in. Again, I'm only doing 1 kilogram of beef here, just because I'm covered elsewhere for protein again. Don't consume absurd amounts, not needed, just the right amount. Like with everything, it's about balance, energy balance, especially with, you know, gaining muscle and losing fat. Shitting pack of mints, bro. There you go. Slimy. Alright, that goes in. Gonna break that up with a spatula if there is one. Hell. Okay, no spatula. Wooden spoon it is. Onion time. Never works. Never works. Come on. to your fingers with this. Oh, I've like sliced it already. And I was chucking it up in the air. Oh, I hate it when it's cut through the middle. I'm just gonna try and dice it because it always is often goes on the floor and then does that. Bruh! So annoying. Oh, half of it's on the fucking floor. Fuck you. Promise you I can cut onions. Why is it fucking flying everywhere? Oh my god. Oh, fuck off. Stop going on the floor. Pissing me off now. Now my eyes are getting attacked. Ow. I'm coughing time. Ah. Oh my god. This is terrible. Worst it's ever been. Holy shit, man. Ah, I have to keep my eyes open when I'm using a knife. Ah, holy shit. Oh. Oh, why does it always fucking do that, you prick? I had a client the other day said he put raw onions in his meals because he didn't realise he had to cook. What? Who the hell eats raw onions? Doesn't realise you have to cook them. I ain't naming names, but some people might be able to take a guess. So I'm gonna mix this all in, let the meat still brown off, let the onions saute. And while that's going, I'm just gonna boil a kettle ready for the stock. And then I'm gonna dish up the banana bread. Put all this shit in the bin as well. Okay, that goes on. So since we've used the Pyrex jug for the last time, we can now use this for the chicken stock. And I find it mixes better if you just chop it up nice and finely before adding the water. So I just got this nice and fine like that. There we go. Just allows it to like mix in a little bit. It just lets, it's already pre-dissolved almost in a way. The hot water doesn't have to break it down. So that, cream cheese. Get this meat browned. Still a little few red bits in there. Now we do the spices. Stock going in. Look at that, perfectly dissolved. All the way to the top. Oi, that's a bit too much. Fucker. Oh, fuck me. And we're back. All good. No inconvenience. I'm gonna wait for this meat to brown off a little more. Never said I was a good cook, by the way. I can just cook. I'm not good. You don't have to be good to cook. Just have to tick the box and get it done. I'm not perfect by any means, just... Okay. That's gonna go in there. Ow, just spilt it again, for God's sake. And then we're gonna put all the spices in. First up, cayenne pepper. I don't know if you can see that. Cayenne pepper going in. Only 0. Yeah, like that much. 0.7 of a teaspoon. And some smoked paprika. I'm gonna do 1.4 of this. There's one, roughly 0.4. Okay, we got the garlic powder. There's 1.4. Bosh. Now it's a load of pepper because I'm out of it. So I have to do this for a while. Because my dumb ass forgot to go and buy pepper. It's still coming out. Oh, there's loads. That'll do. And mix all that in, like that. This over here. Then we're gonna get some tomatoes. Specifically the Piccolato tomatoes from Aldi, because they work best. Cherry tomatoes are shit. They end up not softening up and boiling me alive when I bite into them, and they just burst like really hot in my mouth, and it's fucking awful, I can't lie. So we're doing these. They taste a bit sweeter too. Tomatoes in. Next up, the secret sauce. I forgot to put salt in, of course. How could I forget? 2 teaspoons or 2.1 teaspoons going in there. The secret sauce is, you'll be surprised. See me. It is Heinz ketchup and French's mustard. It's got like a cheeseburger style sauce. It's meant to be cheeseburger, beef and rice. Originally it was in a burrito, but then you don't have so many burritos or tortillas to get enough carbs, so I had to switch to rice. So it's kind of an adaptation on that. And there's also some soft cheese in there too, which I'm going to put in now. Oh, these things never come off easy. Nice, like that. Goes in there to make it a nice thick sauce. Some protein in this as well. No lack of dairy protein sources. If I had to eat all chicken as my protein, it'd be a lot of chewing, you know? It'd be very boring eating that much chicken. So I like to make sure I get other sauces in too. Sauces as in sources of protein, not sauces, if you get me. So take this one out. Mix that in, fully mix through. Yeah. So I'm gonna weigh out 210 grams of each. Pour it in, mix it in. Job's a good one. Shit, way too much. Bollocks. Oh well, a little more this week, I guess. Okay, it's kind of low calorie, that French's mustard anyway. That's why I use it again, because it's not too bad if I overdo it like that. Okay, both of those done. Then you go back in the fridge. Also, if you're gonna do this week in, week out, it's worth buying in bulk, without a shadow of a doubt. Save so much time and money. That goes in there. Okay. That, mix it all the way through. Already smelling absolutely divine. Lovely stuff. Now we're just gonna leave this to simmer for a bit while dish up the banana bread. There's no lid. Lid on. Okay, banana bread, like so. I'm gonna get a spatula, knife, divide it up into 7 columns, slice through the middle, 2 in each one on the Tupperware. Need to get Tupperware out. 7. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, slice this motherfucker up. Boy. I keep on hearing a beeping around here. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's pissing me off. I have no idea what it is. Oh, that chocolate looks absolutely gooey. Oh, that's gonna taste so good. Still, not getting bored of this meal at all, if any, really. There's only one meal I'm really getting bored of, and it's that cheeseburger. Beef and rice, but it's not too much of an issue, to be fair, because it's not a case of I'm bored of it. It's more that I'm just full, because that's not my last meal of the day. So it's kind of like, not a case of taste, it's a case of like, satiety. Oh, I'm squishing it. Alright. Ball ache to get out sometime. There we go. There's another one. It's nice and wet this week. It's literally oozing outside. Why am I speaking like it's banana bread? Oh, there was 7. I did get 7 out. Just one was stuck in the other one. I'm like a fucking idiot, mate. What am I doing, bro? Right, and just as easy as that, that's another meal done. And obviously, you've only seen me cook 3 meals today here, but I do eat 6. It's just the other 3 I make on the day. Eggs, I don't fancy prepped, and nor bread. It goes all soggy. And creamy rice I can make, that takes fuck all time. And Rice Krispies, again, post-workout, pour it into a bowl, pour some water and protein powder in and you're sound. Not much effort required. So those lot are done on the day. Otherwise I'll be here forever, doing 6 meals. I'll just do the ones that I have to cook rice for and stuff. It's going to be a hell of a lot more time. Right, let's get these done up. Take that one out. Okay, first 2 in the fridge, last 5 in the freezer. And with this meal, I will have some more fruit, as well as the veg, obviously. I'll have a kiwi with this one. Last meal of the day, so I like to have a bit more potassium and, what's it called? Fucking hell. Magnesium. has a bit of that in there. Basically has everything in there. It's basically a superfood, whatever it is, it's super. Along with my other potassium-rich foods such as bananas in the morning, I'll have a kiwi with this meal as the last meal before bed. High potassium, also good before bed as well. Helps with sleep, and overall just a really nice addition as it's a superfood for sure. Plenty of vitamins and minerals in a kiwi, more than any other you'll find in any other fruit. Right, it's time to serve up the last meal, then we're done. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, same again. Same amount of rice, so same amount on each one. Why is there so much water in this? Looking like 2.5. 2.5. Damn it. A little low again. Unfortunately, I'm overdoing it. There we go. Nice. Wash up my hand. Alright, time to load up the meat. Sound a bit sus that. Sus. Hopefully the tomatoes should be, yeah, they look nice and soft. Okay, we quit this because my forearms get fatigued on this hot and heavy pot. And that is all done. Cool. So, meat in, rice in. That one's done now. Just need to box it up, put it in the fridge and freezer, and job's a good one. Little tidy up, and then got my last meal of the day. First 2 in the fridge, last 5 in the freezer. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's gonna take off that if I do that. Ow. Is my full evening of meal prep. All meals boxed off there, 3 meals, 7 days a week, 21 meals in total. So that will suit me now for, 21 meals there prepped, 3 a day, 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner. And then obviously there's meals in between, like the cream of rice, pre-workout. Post-workout is the Rice Krispies and protein shake with water, or protein shake, yeah, with water, I guess. And then the last one is just eggs and sourdough. So eggs and sourdough as either the first meal of the day or when I get back from doing cardio in the morning, I'll have that. 6 meals on rotation, and that just takes so much time and stress and effort of, just saves me time in general really. Like it means that I don't have to come down 6 times a day from my room working to make meals. I just have to come down 3 times. And well, I mean, just twice really. I'll just get up, make my eggs and sourdough, go and do cardio, come back, and then from there I'm eating meals, and then I'll eat my pre-workout meal, make that, but I'll make my Rice Krispies at the same time. And when I say make, I mean I literally just pour it into the bowl, the Tupperware, and then take it with me to the gym and have it when I'm done. That's it. Pretty simple, no fluff, just straight and simple. Rice, mainly, well, basically my meals are rice-based, apart from the eggs and sourdough and oats, just to switch it up. But yeah, plenty of micronutrient prioritization, and just in general, just lots of carbs, 640 grams of carbs a day. But it all digests perfectly well because of the way I'm making it. Things like digestive enzymes that I have, and Glycomax as well. These two help a tremendous amount. If you're struggling with digestion at any point, I would highly recommend getting a digestive enzyme. Makes putting on weight and growing a lot easier. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching me meal prep for the last couple hours or few hours. Took a bit longer than usual. But apart from that, I hope it was enjoyable. Hope you learned something from it, and I should be posting more videos on here soon, as I've got a competition in November. So I'll be going to prep just before maybe the midpoint of the year, or just around that point. Getting absolutely dick skin shredded for that. Should be fun. I'm kind of ready to get lean again now. I don't really want to be this heavy anymore, but I kind of do still want to reach 100 kilograms natural and lean. It's a big goal of mine. Purely ego driven, nothing more. But I want to get there, and I think I will. I'm not far off, like 98.9 98.7 now, I think, as of this morning. So it's creeping up slowly but surely, making sure it's all lean tissue, of course. But yeah, we'll get there. And until the next video, I'll see you later.